Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today you heard two sides of the story. One based on facts, and one based on shifting the blame off of the plaintiff's negligence onto Cameron Jackson. Today you heard the plaintiff, an adult, trying to shift the blame off her own irresponsible decisions onto the defense. The reason that we are in court today is because this young woman refuses to accept responsibility for her careless decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I implore you to listen to the facts. Fact, the plaintiff was aware that she entered the concert at her own risk. She was also aware. Dr. Kennedy tells you today and explains to you from a scientific standpoint how it would have been impossible for the drone to cause such damage as it did. And rather than untrue, biased statements from someone who has suffered brain injuries. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when someone gets hurt, they want to put the blame somewhere. And that blame, sadly, lies squarely on the plaintiff. This case is about accepting responsibility. Let's please not lose sight of that. Skylar Reed made a conscious decision to ignore signs. She made a conscious decision to ignore warnings. Choices have consequences. So ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to come back not with an easy verdict, but with a just verdict. A just verdict based on the facts. The cold, hard facts.
Let the record show that I am now showing opposing counsel what has been marked as Exhibit 2 for identification. Permission to approach the witness?
Yes.
Skylar, I'm showing you what has been previously marked as Exhibit 2 for identification. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this?
It is a map of the Music and the Sand Festival.
Does this accurately depict the way the festival was set up on the day you arrived?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, I'm now moving Exhibit 2 into evidence.
So, accepted.
Okay. Permission to publish to the jury?
Yes.
Skylar, now that you have looked at Exhibit 2, which is now in evidence, was the concert in a closed arena or concert hall?
Not really. It was kind of like on the beach in the sand.
Were there chairs or benches for people attending to sit in?
No, it was really unorganized.
So how did you get tickets to this concert?
Well, my mom and dad knew that I really wanted to go, so for Christmas they gave me a ticket.
And were you excited to go?
I was really excited.
So when did the festival begin?
It began July 3rd, however I had to go to July 4th.
And why didn't you go on the 3rd of July?
Because the weather wasn't really that nice.
And did you go on the 4th?
Yes, unfortunately I did.
At what time did you arrive on the 4th?
I arrived about 4:30.
Can you describe the weather that day?
It was nice and sunny. It was a good day, but it was pretty windy though.
And were you able to get a good spot to see the concert in the VIP section?
Your Honor, may I approach a witness?
May.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Hasn't been changed since the last time you saw it?
No.
What is it?
The sign I saw entering the VIP area.
Does this accurately depict the picture you saw when you made the sign that you saw when you got to the VIP section?
Yeah.
Your Honor, at this moment, the plaintiff would like to enter exhibit number 7 into our evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, the item is entered as Plaintiff's Exhibit 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please read from where it says, please to persons?
You are now entering the VIP area. Please refrain from climbing on stage, equipment, other persons.
So did you ever stand on any stage equipment?
No.
Did you ever stand on any people?
No.
So did you follow these rules?
Yes.
Thank you. When you read the sign, how did you react?
I was shocked because there were no security people there to enforce it.
And at the beginning, how was the crowd?
At first they were okay.
As time, were you uncomfortable with the crowd?
No, I could still move around freely. Also, at that time, I noticed a drone buzzing in here.
And how did you react when you looked up at the general admission?
I was actually glad in my spot because when I saw the general admission, they were all pushing each other around and so overcrowded.
So now let's talk about a little bit more about the drone. Was it flying low or high?
No, so low to the point that when a person would jump, they could almost touch it.
So now I'm going to point at a certain area in the room, and I want you to tell me if it was that high or that low. Your Honor, may Scotty please rise from the stand in order to give the judges a better understanding of how high the drone is flying?
Yes.
So, Scotty, was it as high as the roof?
Objection, Your Honor. This is beyond the scope of the statement of facts. Nowhere does it say in the affidavit exactly how high the drone was flying.
Your objection is overruled. I'm going to allow him to demonstrate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was it as high as the roof?
No.
So what happened next?
I noticed a lot of commotion and people crouching down where I saw the plaintiff on the trash can.
So what did you do when you saw the commotion?
I finished my song, the EMT came, and I gave a shout out to the plaintiff.
How tall was the stage that you were on?
4 feet tall.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
So where were you in relation to the drone before the accident?
I was on stage left, and the drone was flying from the back of the crowd towards me at the center of the stage. The drone was flying above the crowd, much higher than I was.
So what happened the next morning?
I went to visit plaintiff in the hospital.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevancy.
The relevance is visible injuries.
Objection overruled.
When you went to see the plaintiff, did you see any visible injuries?
I did not see any visible injuries when I went to visit plaintiff.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-exam. There was a strong gust of wind occurred while you were performing, correct?
Yes.
And you stated that you observed the crowd going crazy, correct?
Yes.
What was causing them to go crazy?
The drone flying around.
And did you notice this drone flying directly at Skylar Reed when he was standing on the trash can?
No.
You assumed that the wind pushed the trash can from under Skylar, but you didn't actually see the witness, Skylar Reed, fall, correct?
Yes.
Since the drone was flying near Skylar, it is possible that the drone could have contributed to its fall, correct?
Yes.
Objection. No personal knowledge.
Objection sustained. Can you rephrase the question?
And Dakota Adams offered to help you by looking at your phone to see why it was buzzing, correct?
Yes.
But you refused her help.
Yes.
Instead, in order to look at your phone to determine why your phone was buzzing, you put the drone in hover mode while the drone was still over the audience, correct?
The hover mode.
That was a yes or no question.
Yes.
Now, please look on page 2 of Exhibit 4 of the Drone Safety Manual. Please read section B relating to the hover function.
Holds altitude and GPS position relative to a fixed point on ground. Ground below must be stationary, clear of all moving objects or persons.
And it's fair to say that you did not comply with the manual here because the audience was directly under the drone, correct?
Yes.
After putting the drone in hover mode, you set the controlling tablet down on a 2-inch by 4-inch railing, correct?
Yes.
A gust of wind blew and broke the tablet that you needed to steer the drone, correct?
Yes.
And you ran down the stairs to find the drone, correct?
Yes.
And you found the drone lying on the ground beside a person who was unconscious, correct?
Yes.
And your main concern was the drone, right?
Yes.
And you did not render any medical help or even express concern for the injured concert goer, correct?
I'm not a doctor.
Even though you were the event organizer.
Yes.
You did not do that because you don't have any medical experience.
No.
And you're not a pilot, correct?
No.
You don't have extensive experience flying drones, correct?
You don't need to be a pilot to fly a drone.
You don't have extensive experience to fly a drone, correct?
No.
That's a yes or no.